Hello and welcome all my dear students. I am Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School. I welcome all dear 3rd standard little champs once again in the science lecture. How are you my little champs? I hope you have been good. I also hope that you are enjoying your days studying at home. My dear little champs, now if you were watching all the lectures, you might be knowing that I was explaining you chapter number 11, light, sound and force. My dear little champs, if you remember, in the previous lecture, half of the chapter I've explained you. In the previous lecture, I gave you the hard words by reading the chapter. So I hope that whenever reading part, hard words part, explanation part is going on, you are not ignoring the lecture and you are reading it with us, marking the hard word, whatever needed is done from your side. Also, I'd like to appreciate few students because they are sending their work consistently. Even if I ask them to underline few things in the textbook, they even send me the photos of that textbook with the underlined lines. I really am glad to see these kind of homework, regular homework. So please make sure, now I am looking forward for few more students to send me the homework so that I can mention the name in the lectures here. I can even display your chat, your consistent work date wise. I can even take the screenshot of the homework you are giving me and I can display on the screen. You never know. So please be ready with all these. Yes, few more days I will wait and then I will display the names. Please make sure you be continue, and if you become continue, at the end what happens, you don't have to rush to read anything. Already you have done everything in the bifurcation way. So at the end, the workload is not more. This is what my intention is. Now, what are we going to do today? We are going to continue with the reading and understanding the chapter, the left out part, obviously, of chapter number 11, light, sound and force. Furthermore, what we are going to do is few objectives from the textbook itself. So, what do you have to do? Take out your textbook. Also keep the pencil with you so that in case if I ask you to underline something, highlight anything or solving the objectives can be done easily. And please watch the lecture properly so that you do not make any kind of spelling mistake, writing in the answers mistake or anything. I have seen people making mistakes in the spelling or in the answer even though the options are there. Please be very much precise to the work, at least when you are getting the lectures on the screen, so that you can see and write everything. So students, I'll give you couple of seconds to be ready with all these stuff, textbook, rough book, pencil, whatever you need. Please be ready with it. I hope you are getting ready with your books. The students who are very much obedient and good students are already prepared with the books because they know that it is Rohan sir's lecture. So they will have to keep the rough book, pencil and the textbook with them. That's it. I hope you are ready now. Now we will display the textbook on the screen and we'll continue from the lecture where we have paused. So my dear little champs, this is your textbook, chapter number 11, page number 106. I hope that you are also ready with your books. So we have done the first page, then we have done understanding the light, shadow. Then I even explained you how can you do this activity in the lecture. I hope that you have done this activity. Those who have not done, I'd like to ask you to do this activity. This is very interesting activity on page number 108. So please do that activity. You can send me the photos of the activity. This is what I have been telling you. We have even done this exercise in which 2 questions are there. Then we have lastly done in that lecture understanding the sound. So these are the things we have done in the previous lecture. Now we will start from the noise. So please be ready, students, with the book, page number 109, where this topic is noise, which is in the topic of understanding the sound. You know that understanding the sound in a different way is necessary. So let us understand the noise. If even we have done noise, I'd like to repeat it to you so that you can solve the objectives at the end of the chapter. Let's get started. Noise. What happens when everybody in your class starts talking loudly at the same time? What happens when all the vehicles on the road starts honking in a traffic jam? Sound that is loud and unpleasant is called noise. Why is it said so here? Because if all together, just imagine you are sitting in your classroom, and if all together if you start shouting, what will happen? You are really going to face a lot of problem. The teacher standing on the stage will not be able to listen to you nor to your friends. Because in noise, we cannot identify what one is speaking or who is speaking what. Correct. So that is called noise. The same example is given. What happens when all the vehicles on the road starts honking? Oh my God. Now you will say, sir, what is honking? Honking means, students, when someone blows the horn, that is called honking. That activity is called honking. So when all the vehicle in the traffic jam blows the horn, what will happen? A lot of noise pollution will happen, correct? So the sound that is loud and unpleasant, unpleasant means the sound which we do not like to listen to, that is called noise. Sometimes when your cousins are together in your uncle's house and you all are playing, but for you it is enjoyment, but for your family members it is not an enjoyment. For the family members it is noise, because you together make the noise, you can together speak to each other. What will happen? It seems to be noisy, right? The same thing happens when you are sleeping in the morning and your family member starts talking. It is noise for you because it is unpleasant for you to listen to at that time. So I hope now you understood what is noise. Too much noise disturbs us and is bad for our health also. This is why we should learn to speak softly. We should always play the television and the music system at the low volume so that we do not disturb other members of our family or our neighbors. Now this is what the problem you might be suffering from. If you are having the neighbor who is very much close to you, your house I mean to say, are having the one wall and the 2 houses at the opposite sides, then you must have observed that when you play the television or when they play the television so loudly, what will happen? The sound will penetrate the wall and come to your house, and eventually you will get disturbed in the studying in all the other activities. So this thing happens, right? If you even play the loud music with the earphones on your ears, it is going to really damage your ears for the long time. So you should have the habit of playing the music, listening to anything while you are using the earphones with the soft voice or the low volume. Okay, this was the topic of noise. Let us go towards the understanding force. Now we have understood what is sound, then we have understood what is light and its different aspects. Like in understanding the light we have understood shadow, in understanding the sound we have understood what is noise and what is pleasant and unpleasant sound. Now let us see what is force. Understanding the force is the topic now we are going to start for. In everyday life, we push or pull things to move them. A push or pull is called force. Force helps us to do many things. So, students, now what is push and pull? Can I give you one simple example? Now, if you go to restaurant, if you go to school library or lab, or if you go to the places where you have to become formal, there if you have seen the doors are there. On the doors, either on the handle or somewhere on the door, it is written push, and from the other side it is written pull. So what is that? You apply kind of force. Either you push something with both your hands on the opposite side of your body, or you pull something towards you, towards your body with your hands. So that is called force. Okay, so if you sometimes if you just enter in some hotel, there it is written push. So if you push the door, it will open inside. Now when you exit that hotel, it is written pull. So that is the best example. You can see the push and pull at the same time. Okay, so that is called force. You are applying the force either on the opposite side or on your side. And force helps us to do many things. What things? You will say that, sir, what force? People force us to study, our parents force us to study, our friends force us to play. No. Here, force, I mean to say not that force, physical force. Now if you can see here, pictures are given, really a good and beautiful pictures are given, so that easily you can understand what is force, how is it used in the daily life. Force can move an object. If you can see that this girl is at the shopping center and she is having the trolley with her, she is having the cart with her, and she is pushing the cart along with her so that the cart moves. So it helps us to move any object. Force can stop an moving object. If you can see that the ball has come in the boy's hand and the boy will catch with the force. So if he catches, the movement stops for the ball. So the force can even stop the moving object. Correct? Now force can change the shape of the object. How? If you can see that this girl is playing with the clay. I know that many of you might demand to your father and mother that please buy us the clay toy, but don't do that. This is just the example in your textbook. You can make the different objects using the clay toys. Correct? So force can help us to do many things. Without force, I don't think that anything would have been possible on the planet Earth. So now I hope that you understood what is force. Let us understand one of the aspects of the force, which is friction. So friction is a special force that shows down movements. So when you push or pull an object to move it, the force of the push or pull should be greater than the force of friction. When friction is very less, things slide. When it is more, things don't move. If there was no friction, we would not be able to walk. We would keep slipping off. So students, friction is important, but in the proper amount. If the more friction is there, no one will be able to move. If the less friction is there, then we would have slipped down from everywhere. So here one fact is written with the help of which you can even understand the friction. A wet floor is slippery because there is very little friction over there. Students, if you must have observed sometimes when your mom or the maid of the house, the maid who works at your house, if she wipes the floor with the mop, she cleans the floor with a wet cloth, and on that moment if you are walking on that floor, there are the chances for you to slip down, or you might have even seen someone slipping down. Even if you see banana cover, if someone throws the banana cover on the floor, and if someone applies the leg on it, they fall down. Why is it so? Because there the friction is less. It is slippery. Only when the friction is in the proper amount you will be able to walk there. So here it is very clearly said that we would not be able to walk without the friction. With the help of friction, many more things are also invented. Now my dear students, let us move towards the keywords. Lastly, we will do the summary and then we will start solving the exercise which is given on page number 111 of your textbook. Keywords. Luminous object. Students, what do you have to do now? You have to just fold your hands, sit straight and repeat these keywords after me only one time. Keywords. Luminous object. An object that gives out light is called a luminous object. Non-luminous object. An object that does not give out light is called a non-luminous object. I hope you are repeating after me, students. Third is force. A push or a pull is called force. Shadow. The dark patch formed when an object blocks the path of light is called a shadow. Noise. Loud and unpleasant sound is called noise. And the last one, friction. The force that slows down movement is called friction. Okay, now let us see the summary part. Summary of the chapter. The sun is the main source of the heat and the light on the earth. This is what we have seen in the very first page, right? When we were discussing the light, sun is the main source. Yes, we have the other electricity, but when nothing was there, not even our planet earth was there, at that time even the sun was there. Sun is the oldest, natural and the main source of the light on the earth. Light helps us to see the things, which is very obvious. I even gave you the simple example while explaining you the light. If you don't turn on the light of the room, you might not see the things very clearly. Correct? So you need the light. Shadows are formed when the objects block the path of the light. So when the light is coming from somewhere and when you stand just under the light, you are blocking the path of the light, correct? So just on the opposite side of the light, the shadow will be formed. We hear the sound with the help of our ears. Sound can be soft or loud, unpleasant or pleasant or unpleasant. So sound can be of different types. Force helps us to move the objects, stop them and change their shape. Like your mom is cooking, so she might be making chapati, right? Roti. So when she is cooking, she applies the force, correct? She applies the force on the flour, on the wheat flour, and then she gives the round shape to chapati. So that is a kind of force only she is applying onto. Friction slows down the movement of an object. As much as friction will be there, the movement will be slowly done. So I hope students you got these summary points after the explanation of the chapter. Now I even hope that you are ready with this page number 111 to solve the exercise given just at the end of this chapter. Please be ready. I'll wait for the couple of seconds for you to get ready. Keep your pencil, eraser, sharpener, everything ready. Okay, as you can see here, objective types questions are there. So let's get started. First is fill in the blanks. I'll zoom in and zoom out the picture of this textbook as per the convenience, so that it will become very much easy for you to look at to the answers and the questions. Objective type questions. Question A. Fill in the blanks with the correct words. Number 1. The sun is a dash source of light. Options are given: natural or man-made. So sunlight is made by a man. Now you will say, sir, why you are cracking the jokes? Sunlight is not made by the man. So students, if it is not made by the man, it is not man-made. It is a natural source. So let us write the answer here. It is a natural source. Okay. Number 2. A shadow is dashed at noon. Is it long or short? Just think. Just we have seen when we were understanding the shadow. It was written that shadow is different at the different time of the day. So even if you see on page number 107, live example is given with the picture. Okay. So anyways, the correct answer is short. The correct answer is short. The shadow is short at noon. In the morning it is long, but at the noon time it is short. So next is, our ears help us dash sound. Make the sound or hear the sound. So with the help of ears, students, what do? Do you make the sound? No. If you want to make the sound, you will make the sound with your mouth. Ears can never speak. So ears are made for listening, for hearing. So here is the correct answer. It is HEAR, not HERE. So please take these things into consideration, because I have seen students making mistake in these type of silly things and the silly spellings. Number 4. Dash sound is called noise. Now today itself we have discussed this topic, noise. So options are loud and unpleasant or soft and pleasant. I even explained you what is the meaning of unpleasant and pleasant. Unpleasant is the sound which you do not like to listen to, and pleasant is just opposite to it, the sound you like to listen to very much. So obviously loud and unpleasant sound, when you hear, it is noise for you. I even gave you live examples for that. So here I am going to just underline the correct answer. Loud and unpleasant sound is called noise. You can even write it down, because you must be having the space and the pencil in your hand. As I'll have to type here, I do not have the space for that. So I have underlined the correct answer. I hope students you are writing the answers either in your textbook or at least in your rough book. Later when I send you the PDF file, you can write the question and answer both from the lectures in your fair book. So you will have no chance to create any excuse that sir has not given the thing. Okay. Number 5. A push or pull is called dash. Now you must be smiling, because you know the answer, as the last topic we have discussed is force. Force anyways is the correct answer. Number 1 answer is natural. The sun is a natural source of light. Number 2 is short. A shadow is short at noon. Our ears help us hear sound. So loud and unpleasant sound is called noise. Now, soft and pleasant sound means the sound which you like to listen, music or something else. And never use slow and fast for the sound we speak. For what we speak, we can say soft and loud. And the last one, a push or pull is called force, not friction. So I hope that you have written the answer properly. Let us lastly discuss true or false. You have to write T for the true and F for the false statements. So you will have to understand the statements, because like I said, and I have been always telling you, not necessarily I will ask the question or the statements which is there in the textbook. Number 1, friction is a type of force. Is it true or is it false? Friction is a type of force. Yes, it is a type of force. It is a force which slow downs the movement or stops the movement at all sometimes. Number 2, all objects give off the light. Students, just imagine your pencil, your eraser gives the light. No, only the luminous objects gives the light. So this statement is false. Not all the objects gives the light, that is why it is false. Number 3, all sounds are pleasant. All the types of sounds are pleasant, that means are good to listen. No, very loud and noisy sounds which disturbs us, damages our ears are not good. So this statement also is the false statement. Number 4, shadows of different objects are of different colors. No, shadow has only one color, which is black, because it blocks the light, and when there is no light, there is no different colors or the recognition of any color. And number 5th, which is the last one, friction makes things go faster. How is it possible? This statement is false, because friction stops the object, does not makes it fast. So with this, my dear students, I end my today's lecture. Hope you have enjoyed the lectures, you have been enjoying all the lectures. Please watch it regularly. Send your work to the follow-up teachers without fail. Have a nice day. Goodbye.